Welcome back to the Art of Crochet blog, and this is square 64, or rather this is issue 64, and we're going to be doing some edging. So we're looking at the edging for the last big batch, and I've been cutting all my ends off and sewing them in, and I've got enough to start saving for a pillow here, pillow stuffing coming up. These are my 3 piles. Now there are 3 slightly different edgings to do, but they're all basically the same. So these two, 51 and 59, have 15 down the side, and then 2 trebles with a 3 chain gap and another 2 treble at the corner. These ones with 58 and 54 and so on, these ones have 16 stitches, and again 2 trebles and a 3 chain at the corner. And our last pile have 17 down the side and then just 1 treble at the corner. So this one's got 1 treble here with a 3 chain and then 17 stitches down the side, so a bit more. So it averages out at the same sort of width for all of them. So these are the ones I've got left to do. This is part of the medium batch, and I've done my 3 chain and 1 treble in the corner because this is one of the ones with the 2 trebles and 3 chain. And then treble down the side under both stitches at the top. Here we are, and don't forget to go into this stitch that's right at the edge here, and it's quite hard to see, I know, on this very dark yarn. This is a navy one, but it's going to look lovely with that edging. And where you've got a loose end, you can just tuck that in and work over the top of it to work it in. So this is my last bit of edging and the last square and the last group, and I've got 17 down the side, and I'm just going to do 1 treble in the corner and 3 chain and join it to the top of here. And then it's a question of getting all of our squares in order so that we can sew them together. You should have plenty of white yarn for the job. Here we are, so that goes in that pile. Now we have to sort them out. So here's my squares all laid out in order as per in the magazine. I can barely fit them on the screen, and I've got my large-eyed blunt needle here, and let's get cracking, just 2 at a time. So first of all, I'm going to anchor the thread by working it through some stitches towards the first corner. There we are. And there's my corner and my corner, and we're doing wrong sides together, so you're sewing on the right side, if you see what I mean, just making sure the edges match. And then we're going to over sew. So I'm going to over sew right through the middle of those, the chain on the corner, and then going under both bars of the stitches at the sides. And at the moment the stitches are matching up with each other, which makes life very easy, but occasionally you'll have one that has more stitches on one side than the other, and then you just sort of have to fudge it a bit. But don't be concerned if you haven't got the number that it says in the pattern, or you haven't got the number of stitches down the side. As long as once the squares are all sewn together, it'll even themselves out and it'll all be fine, and nobody will be going around counting your stitches. So keep going. This will be my first 2 down here in the corner, and then I'm going to sew these two together and then these two, and I'll do them in strips along the pattern. So here we are with all my strips sewn together. I realised I'd put one in the wrong place, so I've rectified that. And now I'm going to sew together the long strips along this way, and I've left a few of the ends so that I can work them in. So here I've sewn all the sections together, and I've started taking all the labels off because we don't need the individual labels anymore. But what I am going to do is to write a little label that says section 4 on it and add that to the corner, because you know what, we've got a lot of sections now and I'm going to forget which one's which. I suppose we'll be able to work it out by the pattern, but doesn't it look great? And the seams will flatten out, and that's very exciting. Lovely.